Hey F-Geeks, it's Money with Airline Reporter, and we're here with a quick video trip report on a flight that we took on a brand new Airbus A320neo operated by the Greece-based Sky Express from Mykonos to Athens. Mykonos airport is pretty tiny, there's just a few gates, and no jetways, so you get to board directly from the ramp. It means that you get some great views of the apron like we got when our aircraft was pulling into the gate. For the plane spotters out there, unfortunately there's just a few columns outside of the windows that block the view of most of the runway, and there's a lot of vehicle traffic on the ramp, but you still get a pretty good view of the airplanes that are right outside of the terminal building. We got a closer up look at the engine as we were stepping on board, and it really is the best way that you can spot the difference between the Neo and the conventional engine option, or the older version of the A320. Sky Express flies all economy cabins, and because the planes are so new, the seats and their finishes are also pretty new. It was definitely comfortable enough for us, especially since the airline flies pretty short flights. Our pushback was right on time. Mykonos is one of the smaller airports that doesn't have a taxiway that runs parallel to the runway for most of the runway length. Instead, you do what's called back taxiing, where you taxi on the runway in the opposite direction that you take off, turn around at the end, and then you're lined up and good to go. Our flight was pretty lightly loaded, so the plane picked up speed very quickly, and as you'll see in just a little bit, the rate of climb was impressive. View in the center of the screen is Mykonos' central town. Here's a quick shot of the central town. Because this was a very short flight, only 20 minutes, we're going to be able to include the whole thing, though to keep things from getting too boring, we're going to start speeding it up as a time lapse for the rest of the flight until we get closer to Athens. The flight was so short that we never really reached a true cruising altitude. We just hit cruise climb until we started to actually descend towards Athens. As we land, you'll see us pass the midfield concourse and then roll by the main airport terminal. Speed things up to a time lapse again as we taxi to the gate and wrap things up. Overall, this was a great flight. It was short, 20 minutes, but operated well, left on time, and because the airline benefits from having such a new, fresh fleet, the onboard experience is pretty solid. Sky Express may not be an airline that's familiar to too many people outside of Greece, but it's an airline we'd recommend completely if you just have a short hop and your main goal is to get from Athens to one of the islands, or vice versa. This flight was just a setup lag for a second flight that we had on an Emirates 777 from Athens on to Newark International Airport. We'll have that story up on the website separately. Thanks for watching.